My beautiful people, you're welcome back once more. So we'll be cutting this particular style today. Okay, so if you know you're the one that requested for this tutorial, let me know in the comment section. Just say thank you and that's all. So I know you've gotten it. So if you're a fashion designer, hmm, personally, I'm guilty of what I want to say now. You will hardly see me wearing something serious. I can have a function tomorrow and it is this night I'm going to cut my clothes and give to them to couple for me. No time. But that you don't have time doesn't mean every time they see you, you are wearing English wear. How will people know that you are sewing? How will people know you are sewing? So most times when you see these styles online, just do something out of the ordinary. I like styles like this because when you wear them, people will be like, wow, heads will turn. But I can comfortably tell you that this particular style you are seeing, you can make it within 2 hours. All you need is get your fabric ready. You can make this particular style you are seeing within 2 hours. You are done. So why dress shabbily every time you go out? You are a fashion designer. You are a beginner. Because I know that if you're on my channel, you are still trying to grow today. Anybody on this my channel now is still trying to grow. Though I might have 1 or 2 professionals hanging around, okay? But majority of the people on my channel, because what I'm seeing on my WhatsApp, on my membership, that reminds me, have you joined the membership class? You'll be doing yourself a lot of harm if you don't, if you are just on this channel. Because on this channel, what I do is cut and sew here, cut and illustrate, okay? But on the membership, I go into details, which I don't have the time to do here. So do well to tap on the join button you are seeing on my channel and join, or go to the description box below. You see the membership link there. Just tap on it, follow the YouTube instructions, and you are fine. YouTube gave me permission to host my masterclass on YouTube. And back to this tutorial. You don't have to, you can see the way this lady is looking, all classy. With what? Just the fabric. And with just 2.5 yards of fabric, you have done this. If it's by 62 yards, is okay for you. Or let's just say 2.5 yards. Learn to patronize all these bale materials they put on the ground. Go and cool down and sit down. You will see beautiful materials there. Beautiful materials that when you bring them and you make something like this, people always rush you. I grew by wearing what I wear, what I made. Okay, I wear what I made. So let's go right into this tutorial. So look at the bust area of this top. You will see that the lines are straight. What does that tell you? The front was not cut in bias form. It was not cut in flay form. Okay, it's just straight. Okay, now when you look at the back, the top part of the back, the part that was the top part, the shoulder area of the back, okay, if you look at it very well, you will see that it's also straight. Look at the lines. I decided to choose this particular color or this particular style because of the lines. It will help me to explain what I'm saying well. Now if you look at the lines on that back shoulder, on the back pattern on the shoulder, you will see that it is straight, right? That means it was not cut on bias, and that means it was not cut on flay. Okay, but now we come to the back pattern. If you look at, if we come to the down part of the back, okay, if you look below, you will see that the lines are not really straight. What it tells you is that that place, something happened there, but whatever happened there was not flay. Okay, that gave that fullness we are seeing at the back. So for the tutorial, we'll be needing our shoulder line, we will need our neckline. Please don't allow me to talk about the collar. I think I have like 4 videos on how to make collar. Okay, I will attach the link on the description box so that you can watch that one. Don't let me bring it here. If I bring it here, this tutorial will be very long, and this tutorial does not really need to be long because it's a very simple style. Okay, so go to the description box below to watch the tutorial on how to make your collar. Okay, now we'll be needing our shoulder line, borderline, that's what I call it borderline. Now I particularly put this armhole line here just for formality's sake. I don't want us to be confused, but we will not be needing this line. We don't really need the bust line. Okay, we don't need the bust line, that's why I did not mark it. But this is my waistline. Okay, this is my waistline and this is my hip line. Okay, then this is the hemline. And the hemline I'm using for here is the length of the back. Okay, because we are going to be cutting out the back. Is the back we'll now use to cut out the front pattern, just not to waste our fabric. Okay, now what I'm doing, you can as well go ahead to do it directly on your fabric, but because I want to show us just what to do, that's why I'm using pattern paper. This particular style does not necessarily need for you to use pattern, okay, but I'm using this just to show us what to do. Let me have the tape. Another thing that made this style very beautiful is the choice of placement of the fabric, the use of the lines. It also brought out the style more. So when you are using your own, if you are using a fabric that has line, pay attention to the line so that your lines does not start to riot. Okay, then if you make all of them to face the same place, your style becomes boring. So you can see the way they place these lines crossing each other, so it made the style look more beautiful. Now, when measuring for the shoulder, you know it's shoulder with sleeve together, right? I already told you people that when measuring for this kind of sleeve, measure the person's shoulder and keep it. Measure where you want the length of the sleeve to reach and keep it. If you measure, most times people put their tape directly from the shoulder like this, and you start measuring the person to the sleeve. This is your client standing, right? Okay, and this is your client's shoulder, and this is your client's hand. Okay, you will see some people placing their tape like so, and they do like this, and they will be asking the person, you want make it end here, you want make it end here. I am not saying it's not going to come out well, but most times when you do that, after you finish sewing that cloth, you will see that where the length will reach, the person might not like it. So to be sure of what you are doing, measure from the back of the neck to your shoulder, normal measurement. You keep it. You measure from here to wherever you want it to reach on the person's arm. If you do it this way, you will get exactly the length that you want. Because some customers might say, okay, I want it just by the elbow. I want it just a little bit above the elbow. I want it a little bit, and then you can measure it directly. By the time if you're wondering what happened, it's just normal. I don't know what causes it, but I've experienced it. So I like to measure my shoulder, okay, and then I measure where I want it to reach. Now where I want it to reach for this my client, okay, is 13. So half of my shoulder, which is 8 plus 13, is going to be giving me 21 inches. So on this particular shoulder line, right, on this particular shoulder line, I'll be marking my 21 inches, okay, which is going to be somewhere around here, and I mark it. And I mark it here. Okay. Now I'm going to be coming down by 2.5 inches or 2 inches or 1.5. Please don't come down by 1.5 because we need to slant our shoulder. But remember that we are not slanting from here, right? So we are definitely going to slant from here. If you do not slant this shoulder, it's not just going to fit well. So slant your shoulder by 2 inches, 2.5, 1.5. Don't use 1 inch. Just make it 2 inches. 2 inches is fine. So I'm slanting my shoulder by 2 inches, and then I'm going to be taking it all out. I'm going to be taking it all out to this 3 inches standard measurement. Okay. Can you see? Now I will now determine my sleeve opening. Now your sleeve opening should be wide enough for you to pleat it a little. Okay, if you look around that sleeve area, you will see that it was slightly pleated. So instead of making mine 11 inches, because I want it to be like 11 inches, I can go as high as 18 inches. And I will come down by 18 inches. And this is my 18 inches right here. Okay, so that when I pleat, okay, when I pleat, it will come back to that 11 inches. So this is my sleeve opening right here. Now I'm going to be coming in by just a little. 1 inch is okay. Okay, 1 inch is okay. 2 inches okay. However you want to come in. 1 inch is okay. Okay, now you curve out your hand, and you come to meet this hem line. Okay. You come to meet this hemline, you bring it down, okay, to the hemline, which is for the back. This is the length I want the back to reach, okay. If you look at it, you will see that it was curved to this area, okay. So it depends on how you want your own to come. 3 inches going up, 4 inches going up, however you want it. Just slant it out, curve it out anyhow you want it, and then you cut it out. Be mindful of the fact that we are not yet done with this back pattern. We still have something to do to this back pattern. So we still have, remember that when coming down for the back pattern, come down by just ½ inch because of the collar. Now I want to place this, okay. Remember I told you that I'm just trying to give you an instance of what you can do. That's why I'm using all these pattern papers, okay. Now I want to cut out this back pattern again so that I can work on the front part, okay. So this is our back pattern now, okay, so that I can now use this one to work on the front part. Now I'm going to be cutting my normal neckline for the front part, and remember it's bust divided by 12. Whatever you got is what you are going to be using. So now we are going to be working on the front part, and the front part has settled itself. It does not really have a problem. The only problem with the front part is that, remember, because of the buttons, okay, you have to take note of the flap for the allowance for the button, right? Okay, if you don't know how to do that, please watch my video on how to make a shirt design. It's still the same thing, but if you don't want to stress yourself, hold on, I'll still be cutting this on fabric, okay. So now, but if you can't wait, just watch this and I tell you, you'll be fine. You will do your own yourself. Now this is my waistline and this is my hip line. If you watch that front very well, the front part, that's the middle part, ended on the ended on the hip line, okay. So what I will now do is to come down like so, okay, or just cover out your hand anyhow you want. So this is the front part. Let it end. Do you understand what happened there? Let it end on the length, because this is where the back pattern will be joined. Let it end where that back pattern is going to end. So now this is your front pattern, and then you set it out. Remember that there's a flap here for the button. We set it aside. This is where the real work is, okay. Let me cut out there's a partition at the back pattern, right? So you can decide. See, look at the difference between the front and the back. Now the front went up, but the back is pointing down, went down. Do you understand? Okay, so let's set this aside, which is the front part. Now for the back pattern, this is where the real work or the real design, what made this cloth to flow, this is where it is. So now we are going to be working on the back. Now you can decide, it depends on you. You can decide to come down however you want, but look at, I will prefer that you come down the way they came down. Now if you ask me, I will tell you that these people came down by like 6 inches for the back, okay. They came down by like 6 inches, okay. So now you can decide to come down by 8 inches, but I will prefer 6 or 7 inches. Now I have come down by 6 inches, and my 6 inches is somewhere around here, okay. This is where you will make sure came down by 6 inches. Just take it straight to the armhole. Don't bother about measuring the armhole, because definitely where it will get to on this armhole will be shorter. Do you understand? Wherever it gets to, don't worry, you don't need it to be correct. Okay, and then we cut out the back pattern. Remember that this is the front, right, and it's unfold. Now remember that this too is the back, right, and it's unfold. So we are going to be cutting out this one, and we set it also aside. This is where the real work is, and this is where we are going to choose what we want to do. Whatever you are doing to this part, know it that this part must have extra fullness. Okay, it must have extra fullness so that the back can flow. Now you can decide to make it a pleat here. Okay, now when you pleat like 6 inches inside here, okay, you tack it down to somewhere around here, right, and you leave it. That 6 inches you added inside will now add to the fullness here. It will now flow. Do you understand? Or you can decide to go with our normal slash and spread. Okay, just spread it anyhow you want, just to add a little bit of fullness. Okay, just a little bit of fullness, and this is what I have here. Okay, so can you see now? This is now the back. Okay, so all you need to do is join this one and this one. You will see that it has added extra fullness, and it's okay for you, just a little. And if you want, okay, if you want, remember that from here you cut, when you space it out, you cut from here. The back is on its own, it has nothing to do with the front, right? So you can do whatever. I can as well just decide to still give it an extra length. Okay, apart from spreading it, I can still decide to give it extra length. This will still add to it. Okay, whatever you want to do, you do and play with it, and that is all. Then for the strap, the cuff they use for the sleeve, nothing at all was done there. Just get a straight piece that is 11 inches. You know we are going to be pleating here to 11 inches. Get a straight piece too that is 11 inches only. Now cut one for the up, the one for the down is going to be laid with stay so that it will have strength. Now you are going to sew it and turn it over. That's all. Okay, that is all. You place it here and pleat this one to get to this one, and that's all that was done on that cloth. Attach your collar, and that is all. If you don't understand what I just did, give me your comments in the comment section, and I'll cut it. I'll try and see if I can cut it on fabric. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and for all those that have been showing me what you have been doing on WhatsApp, God bless you. You are the real MVP. Okay, the most very important personalities. That's who you are. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to join the membership. It will do you a lot of good. See you in the next video.